What's going on, and welcome to SPN Lineups, baby, featuring Philly D and Steve the Bullseye Fantasy Assassin. Check us out on Twitter at SPN Lineups. Check the videos out on Facebook, Instagram at No Limit Fantasy Sports. Today, we're talking NBA. Check out CryptoFantasySports.com, where we have our very own tournament, the SPN Lineup Special. We run it every day. It is free to enter, and we give away $10 to the winner in No Limit Coin. How do you win? You have to be the highest scoring team with a player I'll be naming later in the show. So stay tuned if you want to be eligible for that prize. Last night's winner was Anderson 1 with a low score of 277.50, but he also had a 0 from Schroeder. I respect that, brother. You know, we said Schroeder was the player of the day. You want to win, you need to have him on your roster. 20 minutes before tip-off, Schroeder's ruled out. He kept him in there. He's a tough guy. He gets the prize.
Yeah, if you follow us on Twitter, I tried to put that out there as quickly as I found out about it to swap him out with DeAndre Fox. But he also had a pretty poor night too, so that was a tough one to take. But like Philly says, even if he scores a 0, if he's in your lineup, you'll win the $10. So congrats to Anderson 1.
Yeah, baby. Check out CryptoFantasySports.com. You can sign up using the links below for exclusive bonuses. Let's go over last night's action. We had the 76ers and Magic. The 76ers dominated 118-98, and it really wasn't that close. Hazonia got a bunch of minutes, but didn't do much of anything with them. We're sorry about that when he was one of our picks. Not really any notable performances here. Points were spread around a lot.
I want to talk about Charlotte 140, Memphis 79. So apparently this was an NBA game that I went to last night, but it seemed kind of more like a G League. I don't know. It was $4 tickets and $14 beers. That's about the whole story of the game. But Kemba Walker ended up with a franchise record 10 3-pointers in the game, and he went on to have an amazing night. 46 points. I can't remember exactly what his fantasy line was, but it was in the 60s. You wanted him in your lineup. But Philly, you had a pretty good pick from that game too.
Willie! He 10x for us, didn't he? Was it 10? 11? 10.
I think it was 9, but it was pretty close. I mean, great value from Willie.
Yeah, I think he was 3,400 and he got 33 or 35 fantasy points. He did it nice and early, so Steve was at the game, and he was texting me about Kemba, and I'm like, screw Kemba, it's all about Willie. Yeah. Another game, let's go on more of the greatness of Steve. Houston 100, Indiana 96. This was in overtime. Steve called the under. It was 88-88 at the end of regulation. And I'm like, uh-oh. He's like, no, we got this. So, yeah, another great call from the Steve. And a call from me. Blake Griffin and Andre Drummond was a great stack. Last night was pretty hard to get that 6x value. Those guys came awfully close. Harden, for example, had a piss-poor night, coming with a 3.8x value. Just terrible.
Another game that I told you to take the over on, I hope you did. Pelicans 128, Lakers 125. Admittedly, I kind of picked the wrong team to stack on here, but there was also salary concerns with it. Rondo, Giroux, and AD were definitely a better stack than the Lakers starters. There's still a ton of scoring, and almost all of it went to the starters in this game, so pretty much what I told you would happen.
Sacramento 105, Atlanta 90. Dedmon turned in a decent effort again with 5.5x value, but pretty spread out on the Atlanta side. Costa Koufis was the play of the night for the Kings, coming in at 12.5x. Wow, we did not see this one coming. But he was also nobody saw this one coming. He was less than 1% owned.
Yeah, bench player, 0 points scored the last game. You're a real oracle if you see that one coming.
Yeah.
In Utah, my team, we got back on the right side of things with a win over Dallas. I'm very, very, very sorry about Nerlens Noel, though. He never even set foot on the court in this game for Dallas.
Terrible.
I apologize for having him in yesterday's value pick list, but he was also in one of our lineups too, so we felt it too. I know he's a risky play. It was tough to understand how Dallas would roll with Dwight Powell against Gobert, but that's what happened. For the rest of the season, I'd say Noel is probably a pretty risky play. So this is the second unannounced DNP for him in the last 5 games. Ugh.
Terrible. 10 games tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern start time. We got the LA Clippers and the Pacers. DeAndre Jordan, 8,400. Might be worth it coming off that 25-20. Austin Rivers, 6,000. Could hit a 6x, but probably caps out right around that 7x.
The Nuggets take on the Wizards, and for the Nuggets, Gary Harris is still out, and now Paul Millsap is questionable for tonight. If he's out, it's a boost for Jokic, Wilson Chandler, and it opens up some room for a couple value picks I'll tell you about later, including one that I'm really, really feeling tonight.
Ooh. T-Wolves at the Knicks. Karl Anthony Towns, 9,800. Wow. Teague, 67?
73.
7,300. Wow, that is a lot for him. Even Cantor at 63. That's where I'm getting that number from. I'm nervous about Hardaway Jr. and Beasley for New York. It's always one or the other. You never know.
The Suns at the Cavs. A lot of guys still out for the Cavs, but Kevin Love's only 7,700 now, and he got 29 minutes last game, so I think the restrictions are pretty much lifted at this point. LeBron's price tag's up to 12,100, so
Respect.
He has to get like 73 just to hit 6x value, which, to be honest, he's done 5 games in a row now. But it's kind of playing with fire, especially since this could be a blowout. It looks like Booker and TJ Warren are still going to be out again for the Suns, so it creates a few value picks there, but not much else.
We got the Nets at the Raptors. I'm fading this game completely across the board. There might be a value pick or two here, but if this game's a blowout, I am super nervous about Lowry and DeRozan tonight. Don't want to pay up for either of them.
Speaking of blowouts, though maybe it shouldn't be as bad tonight. The Bucks are against the Bulls, and the big news here is that the Greek Freak is sitting out for the Bucks.
Ooh!
So I would say Middleton and Bledsoe should get a big boost in usage, but they also got a big boost in their cost, as they're now both over $8,000.
Yeah.
So they'd have to turn in about a 50-point night each to be worth it, so proceed with caution. Jabari Parker at 5,400 on the other hand, though, that's a much better value play.
Yeah, I'm going to actually be looking at this game a little bit closer. The Bulls are just lunch meat to centers. I'm looking at it, Steve. You don't know it, but I'm looking at it. We got the Heat at the Thunder. Lots of good names in this game, but it could be a low-scoring one. They also feature a very good defense on both sides of the ball. Paul George at 7,600 looks tasty. Lots of potential there. Carmelo Anthony isn't a GPP play, but at 5,500, there's worse ways to fill out a lineup. I like him in cash all the way. I'll be fading Russ, 11K, a little bit too expensive. Moving on to the Jazz and Spurs. Guy I really like, LaMarcus Aldridge at 8,600 and Joe Ingles at 6,000. Ingles is a great head-to-head double-up play, but ceiling kind of low for GPP.
Yeah, he turned in a 42.5 last night. I think that's probably about as high as you're going to get from him. But he's been pretty consistent lately. Celtics take on the Trailblazers. And last time the Celtics played, Jason Tatum got a 7.5x. And his salary only went up a little bit. He's at 6,200 now, which is still pretty good, pretty fair for him. With Kyrie, Smart, and Jaylen Brown still out, I'd say roll with Tatum again. Over on the Portland side, Yusuf Nurkic is questionable, and I would say that gives a little bit of a boost to Al-Farouq Aminu, who was pretty good value anyways, even without hearing about Nurkic's status. And he's only at 5,600 in the power forward spot. Now, CJ McCollum burned me last time out, but I ain't scared. 6,500. It's a good price tag for him.
Another player that burned us, that blazed our trails, was Damian Lillard. I believe his salary was 9,300, and he turned out like 20 points. Terrible night for him. I think he was expecting a baby that night or something. I'm not sure if he had that baby. If he had that baby. Did he have the baby?
I don't think he did yet, so I would still keep an eye out on that.
I was monitoring that situation, but his salary dropped to about 88, and I like him tonight to make the comeback. Hawks at Warriors. Steph Curry is back, but Durant, Draymond, and Clay are all still out. I know you're probably a little bit gun-shy about Shooter after last night, but he's a great play tonight. The salary skyrocketed, and I think for a good reason.
We got some value picks, so just in case you do take some of these guys with skyrocketing salaries, you have a way to pay for them. I'm not going to go over every name in this list, but I'm just going to pick out some guys that I think are going to have really, really good nights. You see the slot machines next to Spencer Dinwiddie and Brandon Jennings in the point guard spot. Dinwiddie's definitely going to get some minutes. He's kind of taken a backseat to Russell lately, but he's a good scorer, and I think he just has the potential to get hot at any given time. Now, Brandon Jennings, it depends on how Milwaukee rolls with their lineup, but I could see him getting quite a few minutes tonight just because Greek Freak is out, so he should be handling the ball quite a bit. I don't see Bledsoe really doing much ball handling. Now, at shooting guard, with Booker still out, Troy Daniels is a great pick for 3,900. I expect him to put 25, 30 points up, returning 7x value. Pretty easily.
He's in my lineup.
And Kelly Oubre Jr. Big pick, yes, last time. Rocket ships last time. Temper the expectations a little bit, but I still think he's good for about 25 or 30, so he should throw about 6x value out there. Now, the sleeper that I was alluding to earlier that I really, really like tonight from Denver, you can see by the star icon, Trey Lyles. If Paul Millsap is indeed out for this game, Trey Lyles should get about 25 minutes at least, and he is super productive in those minutes. Earlier in the season, he was much higher priced because Millsap was out, and now that he's actually got a little bit more opportunity, I think that he could really go for 7, 8x. Another couple guys like that, Alex Len and Jarrett Allen, both kind of a bit risky because they're sort of all over the place, but Alex Len still has the same type of scenario that he did last time with both Booker and TJ Warren out. There really aren't any scorers in the Phoenix lineup, so it's kind of anybody's game, and Len's kind of risen to the occasion a few times. And Cristiano Felicio is still a pretty good value pick, a little more of a conservative pick because he hasn't scored over 25 in a while. But 4,200, his salary didn't go up much, and I would say roll with him tonight, even though Chicago is a cesspool lately.
And finally, we get to the SPN Lineups Player of the Day. Make sure to have him in your SPN Lineup Special Tournament roster. And that's on CryptoFantasySports.com. Tonight's Player of the Day, 7,600, small forward for the Oklahoma City Thunder, Paul George. I should be announcing players. I'm awesome. Get them in your lineup for your chance to win that $10 in no limit coin. Check us out on Twitter at SPN Lineups for news, updates, and injuries. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. Leave a comment. Subscribe to the channel. Share the video. Thanks to everybody tuning in. We love you. Check out CryptoFantasySports.com and all the links below. Good luck. We'll see you tomorrow.